Yeah, 10 o'clock here, so.
Amen. Quiz time it is. 14 questions, less than the other. Hallelujah. All right.
Right.
True,
Right.
true. 1 and 2 are awesome.
Sure.
All right.
Okay.
All right. 3 through 9. Use the following information. A public opinion poll surveyed a simple random sample of 1,000 voters. Respondents were classified by gender, female or male, and by voting preference, Republican, Democrat, or Independent. The results are presented here. In the questions, we will explore the research question. Men's voting preferences differ significantly from women's voting preferences. Level of alpha equals 0.01, or 0.05. Which set of hypotheses is appropriate for addressing the research question? Okay. Gender and voting preferences are independent, and gender and voting preferences are not independent. So A. Right? Because if they're independent, that means that gender will not affect the voting outcome. But if they're not independent, or in other words, dependent, meaning that the gender will affect it. So that would be our alternative, correct?
Right.
So A.
Oh, okay. Oh, do we have to use the chi-square on this one to fill in our data?
Yes.
I think
Holiday usually what?
if you look at the little tabs at the bottom of that Excel or the SPSS or whatever one you downloaded, there's little tabs. You have to go to the chi-square.
What is this? Kung Fu Panda. Okay. Okay.
So the degrees of freedom is 2 according to mine. Is that right? Oh, wait.
So for what is the equation for degrees of freedom? What is the equation for it?
That's a good question. I just know that the answer is 2.
So are you just using that Excel?
One times the number of columns minus 1.
Yeah, I'm doing just the Excel sheet. I don't know. It says that E6 to H6 minus 1, and then times that minus 1. So it's
number of rows minus 1 times the number of columns minus 1.
Yep.
What is the correct choice for degrees of freedom?
2.
So did you just plug this into the chi-square? Is that what you did?
Yeah. And then I literally just read the formula. And I don't know for number 6. Did everyone get number 5?
Yeah. What did we decide for number 3?
Number 3 was the first one.
Okay. I thought. I wasn't sure though.
Oh, and then number 4 is, what was that one?
That's the number of row minus 1 times number of columns minus 1, right?
That's right. Yeah.
That is right. Okay, 5 degrees of freedom is 2.
Okay.
Are the requirements for conducting a x-squared test met by this data set?
I have no idea.
You must use simple random sampling to obtain the sample from a single population, and each expected count must be greater than or equal to 5.
So what's the answer? What?
So use a simple random sample, and the other part is that n, or the expected count must be greater than or equal to 5. Meaning every section, whether Republican, Democrat, Independent, female, male, any combination must be greater than or equal to 5. And so yes. Yes, there are 5 Yes.
So is it yes, there are 5
Yes.
absurd counts in at least one cell? Oh no, it would be in each cell. Okay, got it.
In each cell.
And if the X was just the test statistic is 16.20, but I'm going to make sure, I'm going to push this decimal out again.
Where are you looking at? Oh, the test statistic. Chi-square test, 16.20.
Yep, that's what I got.
What is the p-value for this problem?
0.0003.
Yeah, 3
Say that
zeros.
again.
0.003.
0.0003. So how do we round that?
Well, 3 doesn't round up, so if it's just 3 decimal places, it's 0.000.
Okay.
Right?
Which of the following statements best describes the outcome of this study? Says there is sufficient evidence to suggest that gender and voting preferences are There's sufficient evidence to suggest that gender and voting preferences are not independent. Is that what we're saying?
Is that the alternative hypothesis?
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be the alternative is true.
So it
Yeah.
should there's sufficient evidence to suggest whatever the alternative hypothesis was. This was are not. So we're going with A?
Yep. All right.
A.
Time to punch all this information in. Hooray.
It could be worse. It could be like some crazy SPSS crap. It doesn't work for me.
Do you put in the totals as well?
No, the totals come up automatically on the edges.
Oh, they will.
See that?
Oh, there you go. Okay.
This isn't that bad.
Yeah, I think it's as a group though, because individually I was pretty overwhelmed.
Well, you guys taught me half of this, so this is great. I didn't know anything about this Chi-square Excel file. This is amazing. All right. Does everyone have the information entered in?
Yep.
Perfect.
Oh, you guys are fast.
Sorry, I just used the tab button.
Okay. The research question for the study is, do people in Europe, Australia, and the United States seek chiropractic care for the same reasons? There's a significant level of alpha equals 0.05. The hypotheses for these studies are location and the motivation to visit a chiropractor are independent. Or location and motivation to visit a chiropractor are not independent. Okay, the conditions, 10. The conditions for conducting a Chi-square test for independence are satisfied.
Yes.
Yes.
The DF is 8.
You got 8 for RDF?
Yeah.
Me too.
I showed 10 for some reason. Okay.
The test statistic should be 7.44.
That's what I got for that.
Yep.
What was the p-value?
0.490.
0.490. Okay. And then 14. Look at that. We're at the end. Which of the following statements best describes the outcome of this study? There is not enough evidence to suggest that people in the United States would occur in other countries. There's insufficient. Forgive me. There's insufficient evidence to suggest that motivation to visit a chiropractor is not independent of the location.
That should be the right one because there's insufficient evidence since we're failing to reject since our p-value is so high.
So our p-value is 0.49, right?
Mm-hmm.
The level of significance, okay, 0.05. Okay.
So there's insufficient evidence.
Yeah, that's what I put.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, let's see, 100%! Yay!
Good job. Well done,
There you go,
everybody.
guys.
This one.
You guys, it only took an hour.
It was bound
Awesome.
to get eventually, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to post this, and I will see you guys on Monday at
Right.
7 o'clock
6.
my time, 6 o'clock your time.
Perfect. Sounds good.
Okay. Thanks for waiting, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, bye.